For my column for This Is Money this week, I'm responding to a reader whose wife has received an inheritance. The couple are elderly and receive pension credit, and the reader wants to know whether the inheritance will affect how much benefit they get. Well, the first thing to think about when you're getting pension credit, which is the main means-tested benefit for retired people on low incomes, is that they take account of your income and they take account of your savings, and there are two separate elements to this. So the basic idea of what's called the guarantee credit within pension credit is to bring your total income up to a minimum level. So if your state pension, your company pensions and so on together are below a minimum level, they'll top you up to reach that guaranteed figure. But they also take account of your savings. Now it's important to say that they don't count the value of the house that you live in. That's always ignored. But if you've got money in the bank, premium bonds, ISAs, other property, that is counted. So in principle, when you receive an inheritance, this could affect your pension credit. Now, the way it works is they ignore the first £10,000 completely. So anything under 10,000 is ignored. Above that, what they do is they turn your capital, your savings, into an income. And this is what's called an imputed income. It's not the actual interest you get on, or the actual premium bond prizes or anything like that. It's an inferred income from the capital that you've got. And they do this in quite a tough way. What they do is for every £500 of savings you've got above that 10,000 threshold, they assume you can get £1 a week of interest. So let me give you an example. Suppose you've got £25,000 in the bank. They ignore the first 10,000, so they're interested in the final 15,000. 15,000 is 30 lots of 500, so they assume £30 a week of interest, so they add that to your income for the calculation. Now that could reduce or even wipe out your guaranteed credit. For people who reach pension age before 2016, there is another element to pension credit called the savings credit. I won't go into that in great detail, but that basically gives you a bit back if you've got savings on top of your state pension. So this couple would lose guarantee credit but might get a bit of savings credit back, but that doesn't apply to anyone who's reached pension age since April 2016. Now you might say, well, why don't I just spend it down? Why don't I use the inheritance to buy that replacement car, go on the trip of a lifetime, give it to the kids? And you can, of course, do that. But if they think you've done that deliberately, just to maximise your benefit, they can penalise you by treating you as if you'd still got the money, even if it's gone. So you have to be very careful about what's known in the jargon as deliberate deprivation of capital. You have to be very careful about that. You might say, well, they'll never know. They'll never know what I've got in the bank. They'll never find out about the inheritance, and that's possible. But of course, DWP already have powers to check people's bank accounts, and there's laws going through Parliament at the moment that give them more powers. So you do have to be quite careful. There is a reasonable chance that they would find out about this, and you could be in very dangerous territory if you tried to conceal something. But to be more positive, if having extra savings gets you less benefit, having less savings potentially gets you more benefit. So if you've simply applied for pension credit some years ago, and since then times have been tough, and you just in the normal course of things, you've run down your savings, then your imputed income from those savings has gone down, so you might be entitled to more pension credit, but only if you tell them. So if it's been a while since you claimed pension credit, your savings have gone down and they've got an old figure for your savings, get in touch, tell them about what's called a change of circumstances, and who knows, you might actually be entitled to more.